folks, Thack with AMK Foraging and Adventures here with
Brenda.
And we want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Well, folks, with the holiday season, things go on sale. And by the title, you guys already know what went on sale. We got potatoes that went on sale. We have the ham that was actually just gifted to us. So, what other way, better way, to save our leftovers than to do a ham and potato soup? Now, I'm going to talk to you guys about what you need. You need, well, the ham, the potato. You need your canning jars. We're going to do them in quarts today because we ran out of pints, and quarts are pretty good for soup, you know, because it's big enough, everything. You're going to need a jar lifter. You're going to need a canner, debubbler right here. What else, honey? Oh, this thing that puts the funnel. That's what it's. She's awesome. The funnel.
The ladle.
The ladle.
For later.
If you need it. But anyways, that's about it. As far as our ingredients go, it's very, very simple. We need the ham, the potatoes. We're going to use some sea salt. And now people like to use beef stock in theirs. I personally like the look of chicken bouillon, not beef stock, beef bouillons. I like chicken bouillon in mine. It just makes it a lot better. And we're going to use the powder, okay? Now, a lot of people, some people do not like to put fresh green onions when canning. I personally love to have that flavor of the green onions infused into the soup. And then, of course, you can get fresh ones to garnish it later. But I love to infuse the flavor of fresh green onions into the soup. Mm-hmm. It may not be the prettiest after you do that, but oh, the flavor. The flavor is what we always go for, right, sweetheart?
Yes.
Now, it's optional. A lot of people like to put celery in theirs, but it is optional, okay? All right, we're going to start peeling, cutting the ham, everything. Come back, and then we'll show you guys how we start the pressure canner up. Well, folks, I totally forgot to tell you, we had leftover bacon from breakfast. So all we did was chop it up, put it in the fridge and chop it up, right, babe?
Yeah.
So it's good that it's cooked, so some of the grease already came out of it. And luckily this ham was not too greasy, but I did cut off the bigger chunks of fat. You don't want too much fat in there. So I'm going to show you, we're going to assemble it a little different because I don't want the potatoes right on bottom and I don't want it right on top. So this is what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to put, well, what? Let me grab a measuring cup here. If I ever find out where they're at. About a half cup of ham on the bottom of each one. Now the reason why is even though the potatoes don't scorch or whatever, I don't want them right on the very bottom. Even though we're going to add a liquid or whatever, I'm not going to put them on the bottom. So we're going to do that to each jar. And the reason why I'm lifting this for everyone, I don't want too much fat from the ham on the edge, the lip, okay? So now Brenda's going to put potatoes in. But before she does that, I'm going to go ahead and just pinch some green onions into the bottom of each one, making sure they get about the same amount. Because because green onions will float where the ham and potatoes don't float, you know. So, anyways, yeah, there we go. All right, now Brenda's gonna put potatoes in it. She'll fill it up to about 3/4, and then I'll top it off with ham and bacon. And luckily we have 2 of these. Alright, well, I gotta cup up some more ham. We'll be back. Well, folks, with anything, there's always last minute changes. We decided, remember when I told you the celery is optional? She is okay with certain celery, but getting better.
Getting better.
Getting better. So we decided to go ahead and cut up some some celery. And then, of course, we said, gosh, we sure like jalapenos. Whether it's hot or not, we like the flavor of the jalapeno. Yeah. So we added that change. But before we put everything in, I am going to go ahead and put, because the ham already has salt, I am only going to put 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt in each jar. Because, well, we don't, no, I'm going to go 1/4 of a teaspoon. I'm going to go with 1/4 teaspoon of salt in each jar. I've noticed that we haven't been putting enough salt in our food. My blood pressure is low and stuff like that. Her blood pressure is high, but it's okay. We just like a little bit of flavor. All right? And along with that, I'll go ahead and put my chicken bouillon powder in there now. Okay? And I'm doing 1/8 of a teaspoon of that too. So, I did not quite get 1/8 on that one. So I'll just go, it's not precise. It's not precise in the least bit. But anyways, that's what we're doing. And now we're both going to put in the jalapenos and celery.
Oh, I was just...
Okay, go ahead. Just grab. Yeah, we'll probably cut up some more celery to top it off. But it is a soup after all, so we can leave it a little runny. You know what I'm saying? It's all to your liking. That's what I'm trying to say. It is all to your liking. All right, folks. So there have been some questions, like, okay, you have seen us in the past when it's hot food, we start our water up ahead of time to get that water warming so we don't shock our jars. As you guys see, it's all cold, so we'll add cold water into a cold canner. At our elevation, it is going to be 11 pounds, and since these are quarts, it will be 90 minutes. And here's the thing. People have asked, well, it's cooked meat, doesn't matter. Cooked or raw meat is still meat. You will still cook it as if it was raw meat. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Anyways, we're going to clean off our rims. Put our lid, well, we're going to put water in first. Then we're going to clean it off, and then we will.
With our vinegar.
Yep, and then we'll put our lids and rings on. All right? Well, folks, another change. We were just going to add water, but we said, hey, we have that beautiful venison bone broth. So we're going to use that. And so on the venison bone broth, if you guys, I don't know if you can see, but the fat, what do you call it? Hardens on the very top. So what I will do is I will put it in the strainer so I don't have the fat anymore. So that's pretty cool. And Brenda and I found this, and Brenda and I found these nifty little lid lifters, whatever, openers. So you just, well, you guys see that? Opens right up, just like that. Anyways, I'm gonna do this part. Ooh, look at that. We're gonna try and leave 1 inch headspace to each jar. There we go. Thank you, love. And then your bubble. There's your bubble. Bubble. So she's gonna get. may need to go get one more jar of broth. But that's all right. That is absolutely all right. We are having a great harvest season, so that's good. Wipe our rims with the vinegar. There's so many controversial stuff out. Oh, don't use the vinegar. It compromises your seal. Use the vinegar because it sterilizes your. You know what? We're gonna just do what works for us. Using vinegar has always worked for us, so we're gonna continue to do that, right, sweetheart?
Yes.
Here's one more for you to open for me, please. Well, folks, I went and got the last jar. Now I can show you guys. Look at that nice ring of fat. So that we are not putting the fat right in. We'll probably add more to these jars once we debubble them. Because once you get the bubbles out, they do rise up quite a bit. Alright, yep. Thank you, love. Gosh, I hope I don't have to go get another jar. We're leaving 1 inch headspace.
Yep.
I'll move them over there.
Yep.
So can I show them your little debubbler? So her debubbler, you guys see how it's notched right there? I'm pretty sure Thack, when she's editing, will zoom in. But anyways, they're notched right here to let you know 1 inch, 3/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch. Very, very nifty tool. It does help with siphoning and things like that. So siphoning is when it bubbles outwards. So it does help. So that's why you guys gotta pay attention to your headspace rules and stuff like that. Okay? It is very important to follow your recipes, follow the directions, but it is very, very important to follow your times. Don't be like, oh, I went 15 pounds, so I'm gonna go like whatever. You know, don't do that. So if it says 11 pounds, go above 11 pounds, but don't shorten your time just because you think you can. Okay? Some people, whatever. You do you. I'll follow that part of the rules. I don't follow a lot of rules, but I'll follow that part of the rules. Alright, folks. So I wanted you guys to see we are only doing finger tight. You see how my fingers just tightening it? We are not wrenching it down with our wrist. We don't want a false seal. We want and we want them to seal. So our Presto canner takes 7 jars, quart jars, 9 pints, right, honey?
8.
8 pints.
Yep.
9 quarts, and we have a open and a closed sign. We want to go ahead and lift this because we have a flat top. So we lift. We don't slide anything. And then on this thing, where the hell is it? Oh, on this thing, there's an arrow. You want to line it up with the open first. There we go. And then close it. All right, now we'll turn on the water. No, not the water. Turn on the stove. And we usually do it on medium high. Not high, medium high. Because we want to slowly bring it up so we don't shock what's in there. And then once it does, the steam starts coming out, we will let that steam come out, if it's continuous stream, for 10 minutes.
10 minutes, yeah.
We're going to vent it for 10 minutes.
Yep.
And then we'll put our weight on. Once we put our weight on, everything should seal. We wait for it to go to temp, and then we'll turn on our timer for 90 minutes. Well, folks, the timer went off because it's been venting for 10 minutes. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Anyways, now I gotta find the jiggler. I found it. So you put the jiggler on. That's what this is called. You put it on, and you let it come to temp, right here. Let me switch you around. Whoa. Right there. Once it gets to 11 pounds up there, we'll start the timer for 90 minutes. Alright guys, it's at 11 pounds. So now we'll just go up here and turn the timer to 90 minutes. And then we'll be back. Alright folks, the timer's about to go off. So, let's shut it off. Alright, so now that you've shut it off, you're just going to wait until the dial goes all the way down to 0. You're not going to touch the jiggler. You're not going to touch the vent thingamajigger. You are just going to leave it there when it gets to 0. Once it gets to 0, we'll take the jiggler off. And I usually let it go ahead and sit for another 10 minutes before I even open the lid up. Alright? Alright, it's been at 0 for a while. So I'm going to go ahead and take off my jiggler. And I'm going to let it sit for 10 more minutes, folks. Alright, so Brenda's suiting up. Alright, when she opens that up, she always tilts the lid away from her so the steam does not burn her arms. So, it's been sitting a long time. Oh wow, look at that. They're almost all sealed. But okay, we're going to leave it for 10 minutes, right, love?
Yep.
Alright, we'll be back, guys. Alright, it's been 10 minutes and she's going to take them out. Ooh. I always stay away from her so I'm not in her way. Oh, look at that. Beautiful.
Smells good.
Oh, yeah. It is just beautiful. Well, folks, these cans have been pinging along. We are going to leave these rings, bands on the lids for 24 hours. We're not going to tighten them down because we don't want a false seal or anything, but we are going to leave everything as is. Just leave it here for 24 hours, and then we'll take our rings off and we'll wipe everything down and label. Okay?
Yep.
So, because you can reuse these rings. We had rings that were dented and all that. You can reuse them. Watch your lids. We do suggest you watch your lids. Mm-hmm. So, anyways, folks, I love that sound. Babe?
Yeah.
Wasn't that easy?
It was.
And I'm pretty sure we'll eat it very soon. We eat everything we can, right?
Yeah.
I do have one recommendation. Only can what you're gonna eat.
Yeah.
Seriously, we love canning because one, we control what goes into our food. You know, you can go out and you can buy it, right?
Right.
It might be even cheaper to just go buy a can of whatever, right?
Right.
But it's full of preservatives.
And the other thing is to free up freezer space.
Yep.
And stuff like that, you know. Yeah. And try not to let the food go to waste. So,
right. Mm-hmm.
You know, anything extra, it's like, well, hey, what can we do to can it?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
so.
Yeah. Anyways, folks, we hope you have had a wonderful 2022 and that you have a fantastic 2023. Keep coming back, we hope, you know. Anyways, folks, Until next time, may
May
all your adventures be A-OK. Merry Christmas.
And Happy New Year.
And we want to wish all of you a happy Merry Christmas.
Christmas.
Should we do that again? Hey folks, time for the A-OK Foraging and Adventures with
Brenda.
And we want to wish all of you guys a happy Merry Christmas. Hey folks, time for the A-OK Foraging and Adventures here with
Brenda.
And we want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas.
Okay, and we want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas. Was that still on? Dork. Miko has something.
Miko!